Stuck in the house. Da 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 da. Stuck in the house. I wanna get out this house. Stuck in the house. Da 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 da. Stuck in the house. I wanna get out this house. Da 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 da. Stuck in the house. What's up, Jewel Empire? Diamond Girl here. Oh my gosh, I am back. Happy New Year. It's the first day of the new year, and as I said in my New Year's Eve video, I will be back. And I'm back. So anyway, I hope all of you guys are doing absolutely great. I hope you like my COVID song, because that's the tune I guess all of us has been singing all of 2020. Stuck in the house. We have definitely been stuck in the house. Most of us, 99 point, I don't know how much percent of us has been stuck at home, working, remote learning with the kids. I don't have any kids, but I have definitely been stuck at home, remote learning about, guess who? Diamond Girl. So let's just get into this video, but just make sure that if you are not a part of the Jewel Empire, that you make sure you hit that like button, you smash the bell button, which is the notification button, and make sure you subscribe, because there's going to be a lot of things unfolding on this channel, and I don't want you to miss anything. I'm here to share, as I've said yesterday, good, bad, and indifferent, and I hope that I'm an inspiration to any and everybody who clicks on these videos, whether it's a commentary, whether we're just sitting here chatting it up like we'll be doing now about COVID-19. So I wanted to come and talk to you guys about what's been going on with me for the year of 2020. Okay, any new watchers, I am very clownish. I can be very serious, silly and serious at the same time. So anyway, let's just get into it. Let's talk about COVID-19. I'm pretty sure many of us have suffered, if not all of us, the things that came along with COVID-19 this year, or I should say last year, because this is a new year. We're not, COVID gotta go, right? So I wanted to come and talk to you guys about COVID-19, tell you like what my experiences was. Maybe you guys can share in the comments what your experience was if you'd like to. I would love for you to. I would definitely respond. Outside of what the majority of us have experienced, if not all of us, is that pretty much a lot of us had gotten laid off, right? So I would just give you a backstory as to how my COVID-19 locked in the house or stuck in the house went. So at the top of the pandemic, right, we all were at work. We all saw the news. 1 week here in New York City, where I'm from, on the news, the media, you know, there was 3 positive tests, then there were 5 positive tests. And remember guys, this is happening all in a week. 3 tests, 5 tests, 11 tests, 24 tests, 2,469 tests all in 1 week came back positive. So by the time we got to the end of the week, we and came back to work over the weekend, the tests, I don't know, it went from 24 to 2,400 plus, right? And that was in a week as they started testing everybody. So we were all pretty good at work. And then the next thing I know, the company decided that they were going to test the system or the server to see if we can all work from home, right? We've already had the capability of telecommuting, as it's called, but they wanted to test it out and see if it could hold everybody. Me, I went into work. And I went into work for several reasons. One of those being I wasn't really sure if it was going to fly, that I didn't show up for work, because it was kind of like a hush-hush thing. And of course it got back to me. I'm so thankful that God allows things to get back to me like he did Job. Oh my God, someone always came and reported to Job what was going on. Here goes my hand. Someone always, I always get the word, right? So anyway, I went to work, but I didn't stay the whole day. So that was Friday. The weekend goes by. It's Monday. They tell everybody stay home. Tuesday, this is I think March 17th or March 18th. Not really sure about the date. The whole New York City is shut down. It's crazy. Like, I've never seen New York City like that. Needless to say, I still went into work after the city shut down because there were just things that I could not get done at home. So I would take an Uber to and from. And to see the city look post-apocalyptic is crazy. I am one of the most busiest cities in the world. And to not see people walking on the street, and maybe 1, 2, 3, it's like mind-blowing. But I will tell you in that it made me appreciate the city that I live in even the more, because you know our city is very big on tourism, and for years I was like, I don't see what the tourists see in this city, it's okay, blah blah blah. And I guess that's because I've lived here most of, if not all my life, I believe all my life. I spent maybe a year or two out of the city, but this is my home. So you know, sitting in the back of Uber, and anybody knows when you live in the city, trying to drive to Manhattan, it's a nightmare. It can take hours when you're only like 20 minutes away. When COVID hit, 15 minutes I was in the city from door to door. I don't live in Manhattan, I live in the state of New York. And I worked, at the time, I worked in New York City. So, it was interesting to see like the United Nations, nothing going. It was just very interesting to see my city that way. And it made me appreciate my city. It made me love my city more. You know, it made me not take it for granted. It made me be more grateful for it. And that's really what this video is about, you guys. It's not so much about the negativity that COVID-19 caused, but the positive things that came out of it. And I know we all have experienced negative stuff during being locked in a house, you know, for months on end with people that we love. We're driving them crazy, they're driving us crazy. Lord knows they were driving me crazy and I was driving them crazy. But in the same sense, there is some positivity that came out of it. We just have to see the positive, right? You have to adjust your lens when things are not, I guess, gravy, or it seems like a lemon, right? The saying says, where there's lemons, make lemonade, and that's what you have to do. You have to make lemonade out of the lemons that's before you. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So seeing a city like that, it was mind-boggling, it was mind-blowing, but again, it made me appreciate the city that I work in, the state that I live in. And then after 2 weeks, I was furloughed. So now it's April. I was furloughed. I had a feeling it was coming. I am a loudmouth, and when I say I'm a loudmouth, what I mean by that is I'm not a troublemaker, but if you start, I will be more than happy to finish. I am very big on respect. Unfortunately, in the industry that I was working in, there's not a lot of respect. The last time I checked, I don't look like a little girl. I'm a fully grown woman, you know, so there were times where I had to say, I don't care about your title, who you talk to, you know. So anyway, let me back up. So I was furloughed. I'm not saying that it had, you know, I'm pretty sure that probably had something to do with it. But overall, I was furloughed, and then a month and a half later, I was let go. So this is where I want to just stop and say to you guys, there is scripture that says you have to be careful with what you speak, right? Life and death is on the tongue, and what you speak, you shall have, right? Now, I'm not quoting it verbatim, so all the scholars that are out there, please, okay? Thank you. So, one thing I used to always say to my supervisor, because I don't want to talk negatively about where I work. It was just a very, it wasn't always the best place to be. Let me just say it like that. I used to say to her, like, if you guys ever thought about letting me go, just give me a phone call. Please don't have me travel X amount of time, taking 3 trains to get to you, only to let me go. Like, just call me up. Don't make me waste my time with the trip. And that's exactly what happened. Even though the city was all shut down, when it came time for them to start laying people off, I was one of the probably the first to go. I don't know if the decision was hard or not. Honestly, I really don't even care. Let's be clear. So I was laid off, and of course, along with being laid off, everything else went with it. Medical benefits, blah, blah, blah. So now we're deep into COVID, right? It's May. Now everything's been closed since March. It's May. We're moving into June. At the time I started, I told you yesterday that I had been working on, I was in school. I'm in school. I'm working on my master's. I'm almost finished, right? So I had that to focus on, which made things good for me, but also stressful for me, because anyone who has a master's or anyone who's studying for a master's, everybody knows the research can drive you nuts, right? So moving on, I was laid off, so now I'm stuck in the house. I'm stuck in the house with the others that live with me, and they begin to work from home. I no longer work from home. I'm just going to school from home, and outside of driving them crazy and them driving me crazy, we still have a healthy household, thank God, right? You know, I kind of like feel like almost, thank God, like I wasn't married or anything like that, because if I was already driving my husband crazy, you know, this would have been really a testing time for us, right? But what happened instead was I drove my own self crazy. Being stuck in the house with just me, myself, and I, outside of the other inhabitants, my co-inhabitant in the household, I spent a lot of time with myself and a lot of time with God. And there were so many things that he showed me, like, girl, you got to get this together. You need to get that together. All of the things that I wanted to do that was on my heart, I begin to do. And I just want to backtrack a little bit. It's so important, you guys, that we sit down. I didn't do it for 2020. Last year, 2019, year before last, I sat down prior to the new year and I wrote out goals of things that I wanted to accomplish within the year. Boy, when COVID-19 came, COVID. Well, we got two of them now, right? Two different strains, COVID 2, COVID 3, whatever. So anyway, when COVID came and just pretty much changed everybody's life, I felt like, what was the sense in writing those goals? Because there were a lot of things that could not be accomplished because everything is shut down, right? Absolutely wrong. There was still actually, I had more time to accomplish those goals that I wanted to accomplish. One of them was getting back into school, right, for my master's. So I did that, and now here it is. We're in 2020. I'm halfway done when I actually had that goal set for me to start in September 2020. But I ended up starting sooner. So, like, we never really know what, when something happens, or we really don't know the plans that God has for us, like His Word says. We do not know. We can set all the plans we want, and if you're anything like me and you're very organized, you like this, you gotta leave room for God so you can or you want, just make sure when you doing that, you leave room for God, because you don't know what He has planned for you, and it may not go the way you want it to go. And that's exactly what happened to me in 2020, along with suffering along with everyone else. Anyone who has lost a loved one, my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry for your loss. And just as I've said, it gets better. It's a brighter day ahead, if not right now, right? So I'll begin to be able to accomplish a lot of the goals that I've written down. However, there were a lot of challenges that I also faced too. So you got to remember, I was not employed. So that also means that I didn't have any medical coverage. And the funny thing is, anyone who knows me will tell you that I wasn't really happy where I was employed. However, as soon as they terminated me, they told me I had until Friday to, my coverage and stuff. By the time I got the paperwork from HR, they terminated all my stuff the same day. So if I hadn't been able to run out to the doctors and get all my physicals and everything done, I would have had a ton of bills. So needless to say, God knows what he's doing. We don't see what's up ahead. We only can see pretty much what's in front of us, but he sees ahead. And he just set me up for greater in 2020, when there's so much turmoil and it's supposed to be a tumultuous year and all these things. He set me up for greater, and I'm here to tell you that he has done the same thing for you in 2020. He set you up for greater. My prayer is that all of you have been building, accomplishing goals. If you wanted to start your own business, you've done it. If you wanted to start a YouTube channel, you've done it. If you wanted to start an Instagram page, you've done it. If you wanted to start a t-shirt business, you've done it. Whatever it is that you wanted to do, 2020 was the time to do it while we were at home, because honest to goodness, it was a time for rest. So I'm going to take a breath, and like I said, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Don't forget to hit the like, right? So moving on, I always have a notepad in front of me because I don't want to skip nothing. I gave you guys the backstory, right? So what happened to me? So I was unemployed for like 8 months. 8 months. I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed. Not afraid. I'm not ashamed to say that I tried to apply for assistance to get help, but I really didn't need the help, you guys. I just needed help with medical coverage because so many crazy things was happening to me. Real talk. Like, I woke up one morning with a blood clot in my eye. I've never had a blood clot in my eye. All of a sudden I got a blood clot in my eye. All of a sudden this starts going crazy. All of a sudden that starts going crazy. But the beautiful thing about all of that is God, is my faith, is my belief, and who I am and who I belong to. When I tell you within 3 days that blood clot cleared up out of my eye, and I'm pretty sure many of you will say, well, they normally do that anyway. That's fine. I know, I did my Googling. But anyway, I know that my trust had to go deeper in him because I was really out here on my own. I was able to, I'm giving you my accomplishments now, right? And you got to remember, this is no job, no medical insurance, really no money other than unemployment. But I'm giving you my testimony. I'm telling you how good God is and how he kept me. And I know for a fact, if he kept me, he kept you, right? So assistants kept turning me down. I kept applying because I was like, look, I've been working all these years and you got people that's getting assistance and they ain't even trying, and y'all don't want to help me, but it's okay. I'm going to keep applying, whatever. And in the process of all of that, I still accomplished my schoolwork. I'm sitting here now with a 4.0 average. Thank God. I don't know how, but I'm doing it, right? And this is how most of us are operating. We don't know how, but we're doing it. I'm here to tell you how. It's all God. And before I go on any further, anyone that's watching that does not believe in God, that's fine. I'm not here to offend you, but I believe in him, right? So if you don't like what I'm saying, please be happy. Feel free to click off the channel. Not a problem. So anyway, I was not only able to accomplish that and just trust in him and get this closer relationship with him, I was also able to pay off a lot of my debt with no help and no job. Later, for the extra stimulus that they was giving in unemployment, I mean, all this, it costs, right? So somehow or another, I was still able to pay all of my bills and actually help. I'm telling you guys, God is so good. I was able to do that. That was one of the things on my list of goals, was to get closer to being debt free. It doesn't I don't want to say debt free because you need to have some piece of, you gotta have a small amount of debt. You don't need to have a whole bunch, but that's another video. Trust me, I got you on this. I got a friend that wants to hear about that. So I was able to accomplish a lot of things, and 8 months have gone by. At the last minute, in the 8 months before I actually got another job, guess what? I put on some weight. Gotta lose the weight, but I think that's most of us. I hear people calling it COVID weight. So I talked to you about my struggles. I talked to you about my accomplishments. What I also learned about myself is I'm talking to you about me and the things that I encountered about me in COVID, outside of, girl, you need to get that together, girl, you need to straighten that up. It's really, really my relationship and my trust in God. But one of the things that I also learned in the time that I was in is that some of the people in my life I had needed to shift. And I've been talking about this for a long time. As you guys get to know me and as I get to know you in the comments, you will learn that I'm very loyal, I'm very giving, I can be very kind as long as you don't push the wrong button. And I was learning in that journey that some of the people connected to me were not matching my energy. I had people who lived in other states who would call me up just to check on us, right? Didn't really know what was going on with me. When I say us, like I said, I live with somebody else in my house, right? They would just check on us to see how we're doing. And I found these are people that I don't speak to every day, haven't spoken to in years, and they had enough of a mindset, enough of a heart to just call and check in and see how I was doing. And here there were people that are up under here, up under the nose, you know, that I have gone completely out of my way for to help them in their time of need, whether they asked or not. And they didn't even offer me a how you doing. You were on my mind. And one thing you'll know about me is I do nothing for accolade. I do things because it's in my heart to do it. I don't do things to be seen. I don't give to be seen. I don't give so I can say, yeah, I gave that to him, or yeah, I gave that to her. I do it because it's in my heart to do it. And I started seeing in my most darkest hours, because guys, I had some dark hours. Oh, did I have some dark hours? When I tell you my faith was stretched even the more, But those friends or those people that connected to me that are so closely knitted, like David and Jonathan in the Bible, if I got a drop of water from them, I was blessed. Am I peeved about it? No, I'm not peeved about it. Will it change who I am? Will it change how I give? No, it will not. What it changed is how I give to them. And that might sound a little crazy, but actually, for me, it doesn't, because I'm in a space where my energy has to be matched. Am I saying that you have to give me $50 if I give you $50? No. What I'm saying is, if I can sit on the phone all night with you, when you and your man, or you and your girl, or whatever your issue is, because for most of us as women, we keep our girlfriends up at night when we have a problem with the guys that we're seeing, right? The least you can do is when I'm having an issue or I just need to vent, when you're listening to me, is actually be listening to me and not shopping on Amazon or shopping at what is 9 West still? I don't even know. Or wherever you shop at. Like, to me, that's just like totally disrespectful. So I'm supposed to listen to you whine and cry, but you can't even listen to me whine and cry. I don't get it. I feel like my hat is slipping, you guys, and honestly, under this hat, I look like a troll doll. I look like one of those troll dolls, so I don't want to take my hat off, but I hope you guys like my hat. I don't know if you can see it or not because of the light, but it says Diamond Girl as well as my sweater. Okay, you guys, I am back. While I was talking to you and laughing about what my hair looks like under this hat, the camera just died on me. I guess I've been talking to you too much. I don't know, but anyway. What I was saying is that that's one of the things that I realized or have come to learn about myself, and some that I'm connected to. The energy is not matched, you know, so I just make sure I match the energy. So if I hear from you, I kind of like hear from you. If I don't, then I know it shouldn't be like, okay, the assumption is that they're well. I will pick up the phone or whatever. But as far as like holding long conversations and whining and venting about, I shouldn't say whining, right? Because we all need somebody to talk to. But just if you can't give me your undivided attention when it's my turn, I'm just not going to give you the time. I'm still going to give you my undivided attention,
but I'm not giving you the time. I just think it's unfair. And I think COVID-19 should have shown all of us whether we need to save more money, not spend so much, be thankful for what we have, be thankful for what we don't have, is to be kind to people, right? And to return to people what they give out. If it's negative, I'm not saying return it. The Bible says you heap hot coals on someone's head that's not so kind when you give them love. It's like a heap of hot coals on their head. So love everybody. Another thing that I've come to appreciate more, and it's going to sound a little bit crazy, is my family. And it's not that I didn't appreciate my family already, but I just learned to love on them more. So, I'm the kind of person you're not going to hear I love you from every day. I'm just not gushy like that. Some of us are, some of us aren't. I'm one of the aren'ts. But I do definitely tell them that I love them more. I just feel like this has... Anyway, I'm not somebody who's always saying I love you, but I make sure now that I do say I love you more, letting you know that I'm thinking of you regardless of how busy I am, because time does get away from me from being busy, right? Because I'm not always sitting in front of this camera, and I'm not even saying that sitting in front of the camera is not being busy. It is. It takes a lot just to put the camera up and talk to all of you, but I want to do it, so that's why I'm here. So anyway, I hope that you guys drop in your comment like how your COVID was. Drop it. If you want to chat it up, you can find me on Instagram, not DiamondGirl9177. I'll be more than happy to chat with you. I'll be more than happy. Because at the end of the day, we all need each other. It's not just everyone needs someone. We all need each other. And I pray that COVID-19 has shown all of us across this planet that we in fact need each other, and the only way that we can survive outside of our belief, outside of God, is the fact that we need each other, and we must be unified. We already seen all of the things that happened in 2020 that were not positive. My culture has taken the largest hit, as we always do, so that's one of the things that I'm praying about, that changes, because it needs to, period. The injustice is unreal. It's just so unreal. But there were a lot of positive things that came out of COVID, and I'm sure that there are positive things that came out of COVID for you too, whether it's you remodeling your house, remodeling your apartment, whatever it is that you wanted to do. But my biggest concern, or I should say my biggest prayer, is that you begin to build, and you begin to build on yourself, and better the things about yourself that you don't like, and better the things about yourself that you do like. So you guys, with that being said, I'm going to end this video right here because I could talk to you guys forever. Jewel Empire, I absolutely love you, and always remember, life is a journey. The best taken with God. Keep sparkling and stay brilliant. Mwah.